Well, here we are again on a Friday morning. We're continuing the conversation with Bill Rogers and the faith journey. And there's so much to say here, how the Lord's used his life. Bill, thanks for being with us over these last few weeks. And thanks again for joining us this morning. Good to see you.
Well, good to see you, Dennis. Thanks for all you do with Links.
Oh, and it's just never thought I'd be here doing this, but it's been a great joy. Listen, another thing maybe people don't know. It's obvious people know you as the 81 Open and so many other accomplishments, collegiately and then on the tour. What a career. Amazing. And then how the Lord came and found you through Wally and Jim and so many others on the tour. But maybe people lost track. After you left the tour in 88, after a decade and a half of out there chasing the little white ball, you ended up being the director of golf at San Antonio Country Club, which is where I met you for the first time many years ago. Talk to us about this season of your life, the transition from tour golf to being a director of golf at a very, very fine venue.
Yeah. Well, I finished the 1988 season on the tour and decided that was all she wrote. I walked away from competitive golf. The fire had gone out. There are a lot of factors. I had a young family, and I was ready to go home, be still, and start fresh with something else. And my wife at that point had made it very clear that there was going to be an element to this new beginning of start getting our kids in church, ourselves in church, and beginning, to have some important things lined up as we started kind of this new season of life. But I had different opportunities upon leaving. I could have had a good friend, Ron Pritchard, who was a golf course architect, had an opportunity to be involved with him and developing up new projects, new golf courses and stuff. But I knew that there was still an element of that required a lot of travel, a lot of time away, and I quickly dismissed that. But had poked around in that world a little bit and really liked it, but it wasn't appropriate at that time. But anyway, the director of golf job became available at San Antonio Country Club. I had some friends that were members there, and they said, you ought to apply. And probably the last thing in my mind that I would have ever thought that I would have entertained would have the opportunity to become a club professional, a director of golf at a country club, because I'm coming off the tour. I've got this high-powered tour resume, man, reached the top, and at every other spot on the spectrum, I was up and down, pure rookie to top and all the way back down again. But man, this was how could I validate or in my mind, being a club professional? But I would tell you, I filled out the application process over prayer, I must say. But I went through the whole interview process, the whole shebang, and I was hired as the director of golf at San Antonio Country Club. And I would tell you, there was probably it was unstated, but probably a mindset of tour players that, or you're not going to go home and be a club professional. You may find something else to do. But anyway, long story made short, I left a world of serving myself, of which, it's easy to kind of get yourself in a position where you think you're the only one involved in the whole game, and it's all about you, all about me. I leave that kind of world to now I'm serving some 500, 600, 700 people at a country club. And thank God for it, because it was very, very much a part of my humbling process, of which I needed to be humble. I was, prideful, very prideful tour player who was working his way to kind of finding, this new beginning I was involved in. And the director of golf position had everything to do with me learning to serve others and figuring out that there's more to this whole deal than just myself and trying to play a self-absorbed world that I lived in. But it was wonderful. Gosh, I'll tell you, I walked away from it knowing that heck, I think it's one of the high calling professions. Gosh, I think, boy, anytime you have an opportunity to speak into people's lives, not just professionally, but have an opportunity to listen, learn from others, and also have some input into their life, high calling. So I walk away from that profession, having been there 10 years and serving others, understanding that God gifted me with a heart of service. And that's to some degree carried over into these later years that now I have the opportunity of, hopefully being involved in others' lives. And again, back to one of our early sessions, becoming a better father, better husband, better grandfather, better friend. So anyway, that's the long and short of just a little piece of the after tour life. Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful. I think that's probably the crucible the Lord has us all in, right? We begin our journey in the early years. It's all about ourselves. And then, especially when we become grandfathers, everything really does change. The center of your world changes. Bill, I can't thank you enough. All the sessions were great, but this last episode, just talking about serving others, how challenging that is, how convicting that is, and how important it is to hear that. So thank you so much for being with us over the last 4 or 5 Fridays. I'm just trusting the Lord. The Lord's going to use our time together to speak into men and women's lives.
Great to be with you, Dennis. You're a great leader, and thank you for writing and speaking and being who you are. Appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate you so very much. To our Links family, what a thrill this has been, just to travel along and hear little bits and pieces about Bill Rogers' faith journey and how the Lord's used that at various stages in his life. So God bless. And we certainly hope you enjoy these videos and the corresponding devotionals that go with them. I hope they're meaningful in your life. God bless, and we'll see you next time.